Hi, I'm Jeannie and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be playing with some Faber-Castell gelatos. So you might be wondering, what is a gelato? Well, gelatos are basically a mixture of wax, oil, and pigment. So they're not exactly a watercolor crayon and they're not exactly an oil pastel. And these are pretty common in like junk journaling, some mixed media, crafting projects. You can use them on a variety of surfaces, paper, fabric, wood. I am just going to be using them on paper because that's how I work with them. But these can be used as a dry medium or a wet medium. So I'm going to swatch these. These are from the Brights collection. As you can see, they are very bright. But I want to go ahead and demo, and I'll just scrape them off here. And they're kind of like a, I guess you could say like some people describe it as lipstick. I think of it a bit like a glue stick and how it's shaped. But as you can see here, you can brush it on and you can smudge it. I'm wearing a glove because I don't like to get product on my hands, but you'll see some people in videos will do it with their bare hands. I also don't like to do that because the oils from your fingers will come off and get on the paper. And again, I don't want to be like introducing like chemicals or substances from my like hand lotion into my paper. But you can rub it to blend it, and you can also take a brush. So I'm going to take this wet brush, and you can kind of work with it like it would be watercolor or watercolor crayon. So you can see it moving out a bit there. But I will go ahead, I'm just going to swatch all of these so you can see them rubbed and then blended dry, and then I will go ahead and introduce a little water to them. And then I'll show you a couple of techniques that you can do with them. And then I'm just going to finish this piece kind of like I would with watercolor and color this in little crab on the bottom. So as you can see, when water's introduced, they are a little bit more transparent, but I did rub the color out first. I'm going to just show too, these are very blendable, and I'll take like in this corner here, make this a little more visible to you. I'm going to take purple, like if I want to make a new color or blend two colors. So I can do this, again, you can just rub it in. You can also use like soft sponges or hard sponges. So I can blend it, and then if I wanted to, I can introduce water to it for even more techniques. So you can even like lift some of the color up with a wet brush as well. And then you'll notice too, it's making a whole new color as these colors blend together. So they're very versatile. They aren't really, I wouldn't call them a fine art product. I don't know how light fast they are. I think they're like a higher quality crafting product is what I would call them. I would be afraid to hang these, and because I mean, even just some of these colors, like your purples and pinks generally tend to not be light fast colors in any product. So yeah, I would be hesitant to hang these somewhere where they're going to see a lot of light. But I do see a lot of people use them in crafts. They use them for backgrounds. I haven't played around with mine too much. I have like one sketch that I did with them. Mostly it's because I'm not a fan of like the blunt edge. This is like, I want more control when I'm drawing. But you know, you could definitely smush these down and probably use them like paint, which is what I'm going to try to do with the crab. You can also, as far as like making backgrounds, like you can take, so this is an acrylic stamping block. I'm going to take the smooth side of this, and I'm going to do a trick to make a background by applying the gelato. And I have to say, so mine might seem a little bit drier. They are 2 years old. That's how long I've had these. But I do want to say, like, they have held up, as in, like, there's no mold. I've used, like, not same as gelatos, but like children's products like gel crayons. And I've had some, and I'll probably do a video talking about that, that just started getting moldy within a few months, which is horrible. I've even like purchased gel crayons and they arrived moldy directly from the art store. So be aware of that. But these gelatos, Faber-Castell did a great job in that they have not grown any mold. And I've kept them properly stored, but I live in a humid climate. So if something does sit for a while, there's a chance for it. But again, the way I keep everything stored, I make sure that there's airflow. But these are 2 years old, yet I'm still able to use them. And I'm just going to make like kind of a mini rainbow here. And just keep applying colors. And try to get it on as thick as possible. And shift this up. And ooh, there we go. I feel like this is screaming like 80s, 90s neons. Okay. So covering that. And then with this technique, when you use the clear block, what you want to do next is like spritz on a little bit of water. And I have my little sprayer here, and I don't want to get water on the paper, so I'm going to do this on a piece of plastic. Just going to wet that gelato, but not overly saturate it. And then I'm just going to flip it and press it here. Probably should have gloved the other hand so I don't get mess all over myself, but you live, you learn. And it lets you do these kind of neat little techniques. So I made a messy. Again, if you want to do some cool like art journaling background work, these are great for that because they do kind of blend everywhere and just, you know, it's something different. If you like that distressed look, I guess is what I'm going for. The distressed look is what you will get with them. So I'm going to do a stamping technique next. So there's where you can just use something solid and plastic and put it down to get a pattern. And you can also use a rubber stamp. I'm trying to decide what colors I want to use on this one. I like the dark blue. Oop. And again, just taking it over, trying to get as even as possible. Oops. Okay. Thought I got that into the wet part there, the painted part. And the green. And we'll end it with that kind of lemony lime yellow. Okay. So again, what I want to do is spray this, because then they will come off on the paper a little bit. I'm only going to do one squirt. Maybe two. I see a little mist on the edge. Okay. And now I'll press down my stamp. And so it's not super strong. I think I need to apply some more gelato, or maybe again, these are 2 years old, so a little bit drier, but you can kind of get these distressed stamping looks with them. For me personally, I must say, I'm not a fan of this technique. Like, I appreciate it, but it's just not something. I used to do that a lot with my acrylic painting. I would do very textured backgrounds. These days, I don't know, it's like it's not my style as of late, but if this is something that you like to do, then these are definitely a product that are helpful. I should also mention too, again, this is not sponsored. I purchased these a long time ago with my own funds. And I'm just doing this as a demo because someone had asked about it in the comments. And so I thought, oh yeah, this would be great to pull these out and use them, since I obviously don't use them very often. And I think I need a little more water. Spray that off to the side. I'm worried about spraying the paper directly. Okay. It's a little bit more there. And I bet I could just keep pressing it in different areas. And again, it kind of gives it that distressed background. It's not going to be a perfect clear stamp. But it's a technique that you can do if you like that kind of stuff. And then once these dry, you want to seal it. So gelatos do require a sealant. They will reactivate if you get them wet again. So that's kind of nice if you want to do like a watercolor technique and lift the colors off. But if you want it to be permanent, you do have to seal it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, and the next step I want to do is just kind of smush the gelatos into my ceramic palette and then use them like watercolor to fill in the crab. So I finished the watercolor with it, and while I was doing this, I had the idea, I'm like, oh, I need to see, will these react to black light? So I want to show you that real quick now. The brights, the gelato brights, some of them actually do react to black light. I thought that was kind of neat, at least for the orange and this pink and definitely this yellow. They are very, very strong with it. So that's just kind of a nifty thing with these two, I guess. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it inspired you to go do some creative, crafty things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.